starting with Morocco, talk about Ivory Coast. Currently, Cape Verde is heading it with a fight there against Spain. Yeah, at the moment, I mean, the World Cup has been so entertaining, and we've seen a couple of results. I think I want to say that if we go back to the memory lane, um, Germany. Germany is they are trying to replicate what they did in 2010. If you remember vividly, Germany had one of the biggest goal margin at the 2010 World Cup. They defeated Argentina. They beat a lot of people only for them to get to the semi-final, and they failed to progress to the final there. And also, you got to know that eventually the time came for them in 2014 when they defeated Argentina at the final. Yeah, so it's something that I can tell you that I think history wants to start repeating itself at this year's World Cup. Don't let me go too far. Let's start with the introduction right away. This is, don't forget, your favorite frequency, WFM 91.7, and I'm your favorite engineers podcaster, Jeremiah Oluwaferomi Omoniyi. I won't be doing the program alone this evening. I have my co-pilot in the studio, and we'll be doing justice to all entertaining stories we have for you this evening. Dami's in the studio this evening. Dami, good evening and welcome to the Sport Radio Show.
Good evening, Jeremiah. It's been an awesome World Cup especially for African nations, especially looking at what Ivory Coast did against Ecuador yesterday. So unbelievable. And also Caraco, who is making their debut, Cape Verde, country of about 600,000 people, holding on Spain for the first 45 minutes, 3 goalless. I think it's going to be a tournament of the other dogs, and I'm very, very much prepared for it.
Speaking about underdog, I think for now we've not really seen any offset so far this year's World Cup. Probably maybe if Cape Verde defeats Spain this evening, probably maybe we can get to see something. But I think one thing that really struck me, and I felt one of the most boring game I've seen so far in this year's World Cup. I'm going to start with Brazil against Morocco. For me, I was expecting so much entertainment, so much tactical upgrade.
Did you see the game? Did you see the full game? Did you see the full game, Jeremiah?
Yes, I saw it. Yes, I kept. I was awake. Yes. After the first 40 minutes. Okay, I'm listening.
Of the opinion that game should have been the cutting razor instead of the shambles that we saw between Mexico and South Africa. If there's anything I would pick from the game between Brazil and Morocco, is the fact that the tactical ability of both teams and the fact that Morocco were able to contest with them like strength for strength, power for power. Brazil has more attacking prowess than Morocco, and Morocco were able to contain it. They scored first. Morocco scored first. Brazil had to fight back for a point in that game. So I think that game is a game of two teams that actually know that they are opener. Because if you want to play a tournament as big as the World Cup, if you make that bad step in your opener, it's going to be difficult. But if you make that bad step, your second game, you must get it right. And that's what Argentina did in 2022 Qatar. Against Saudi, they lost. But they were able to pick themselves up. So if I'm going to talk about games that were match for match, band for band, which for which, it should be Mexico, Morocco, and Brazil. For now, as what I've seen, I don't know of subsequent games, but Morocco, Brazil is up there.
Okay, this is what I was expecting in that game. If you look at it, Morocco missed a lot of chances in that game. And I was expecting Morocco to have pulled a winner in that game. They gave everything. I don't know how was really fantastic in that game. Although in the second half, Carlos Ancelotti brought in Fabio, who was able to settle the midfield because Brazil they were losing the midfield. But for me, I was expecting more. I was expecting at least because Brazil were so silent in the second half. They were not putting attacks. They were not forcing the goalkeepers. If you look at the tactics, the stats, for me, that game should have been on your feet throughout that game. It was so relaxing. There was no In the second half, it was so jovial, so casual. You can use that word, or so casual in that throughout that game. But unfortunately, Tunisia, they've sacked their coach. They've just played just one game, and I don't know why they they just played one game and they've already sacked their coach. For me, I think that's not a good, probably not a good ideal for a team playing in a tournament that you still have a chance.
The most interesting part, Jeremiah, one thing that is interesting about this is that this same coach guided them through the qualifiers, and they never conceded any goal during the qualifiers. They never conceded any. Now let's look at Tunisia and the team that
yes.
Look at the category and the distance of elite players in both countries. I don't know why they make this kind of mistake. I don't know.
That's serious. That's serious. Okay. Let's I have another guest in the studio this evening. Sukomi is in the studio. Sukomi, good evening and welcome to the Sports Radio Show.
Good evening. It's nice to join you on the show.
I know, Sukomi, you've been following the World Cup games and a lot of story. I think majorly every story right now in the world, aside from maybe the one or two exceptional transfer stories, the World Cup has been one of the has been the major thing everybody has been talking about. From your own perspective, before we go further, what are probably some things that you really enjoyed so far in this year, so far from the games that have been played in this World Cup?
Well, there are two things that I've enjoyed so far at the ongoing World Cup. The fans, some of the images coming from the stadium, they are very, very appealing. You see beautiful images of women, men, and the beauty of culture from different countries around the world. It shows you that football is about, football is a massive tool that can actually unite and then bring the world together. Another thing that I've also stood out for me is the though not the first time we are seeing it now, but the attitude of the Japanese national team and their fans.
You beat me to it, actually. I was about to say that. Okay, continue.
Yes, we are used to seeing these guys, at every World Cup, specifically from the one hosted by Brazil, I think 2014 now. Whenever they leave their changing room, they never left it untidy. They kept everything cleaned. And that is a massive message to the world, that wherever you find yourself, anywhere you find yourself, make sure you leave it better than you met it. And that for me has been two things that have stood out for me. And I think I look forward to more games, more beautiful events coming at this World Cup.
Oh, thank you very much, Sukomi. Dami, I was about to state that the Japanese fans, after the game against Netherlands, where they forced the Dutch to a 2-2 draw, the fans were seen cleaning everywhere. Where they sat, the whole stadium. And this wasn't the first time. They did it in Russia in 2018. They did it during the qualifiers in I think in 2022.
Yes.
And it's really sent a lot of message out there that when it comes to the Japanese, they know how they are very conscious about cleaning. I think it's a very good value system that they've imbibed. Okay, cool thing. I think one of the games again that I will talk about is the fact that Qatar against Switzerland. The guy that scored for Qatar, that got the equalizer, and the guy got a Rolls Royce, and it was it came on the social media space where people were like, if you want to secure future for children, just go to Qatar. That means I don't know if you get that point.
Absolutely. Right now, I just feel like the tags underdog. We should just scrap that tag of underdog right now. Like, we should stop saying underdog again. Because imagine Qatar as the closest of like nobody expected that, and the guy sprung up and was able to get a goal. And this same thing happened between Ivory Coast and Ecuador. Ecuador had every chances in that game to score 4, to score 5, but they were undone. And then Ahmad, Manchester United, he came on, and then they had that win. And that is what it shows that
I don't want to see anything
beyond.
without Manchester United, but let's leave it the way it is.
So I'm very, very happy for Qatar. They were owned in 2022 and now they are back 2026 on the ground stage. It shows that it is not just about, because last time they were owned, they had the white card of qualification. This time they have to work for their qualification. And even in their tournaments that they play in Asia, I think they were champions. So it shows that these guys actually want to go far in this tournament. And it's not just necessarily all about qualification, matching attendance that, oh, we came for the 2026 edition.
Okay, and let's talk about some stats right now. The goals that have been scored so far, it's 38. Spain and Cape Verde are still playing. The goal line is goalless right now. Is barren so far there between both sides. 38 goals has been scored, 8 wins recorded, 4 draws, and 8 losses so far this World Cup, and it's giving right now. Ivory Coast stands to remain the only African side to have picked a win. South Africa were the first team to play at the World Cup. First team they played against Mexico, and I will say that it was really a very bad outing for them. They got 2 red cards, and they were defeated in their first game. The last time they were at the World Cup was 2010. They played a 1-1 draw against Mexico, and 16 years later, Mexico again, but this time around, they were well punished by the hosts. That was the way it was. There, 8 losses so far, among whom 2 African countries, they have recorded 2 out of those 8 losses. If you look at it, Europeans, how well are they even participating? How well are they doing well in so far at the World Cup? We've seen Europeans, Scotland playing a 1-0 win over Haiti, Switzerland playing a 1-1 draw over Qatar. And also, we're still talking about Europeans. How have they been playing? Czech Republic, they lost to South Korea by 2-1. While Canada against Bosnia Herzegovina played a 1-1 draw there as well. And also, if you're still talking about Europe, let's see another Europe. We talk about the fact that Turkey lost to Australia, while Germany defeated Curacao by 7-1. That's the most scored game so far at the World Cup. And also Netherlands played a 2-2 draw. Right now, like I said earlier, Spain is still fighting it off with Cape Verde. I don't want to say Cape Verde really this year, they came well prepared. This is like their first time in the bigger tournament like this in a very long time. And they have been able to, it looks as if we might be having more African country get into the knockout stage, unlike what we saw Morocco in the last World Cup where they got to the semi-final. Sukomi, I don't know if you have
if Ivory Coast are able to win their next game, there is the biggest chance that they are going to make it to the next round. If they are able to win their next round.
Yes. And because it's a 48 team tournament right now, so there are more chances for teams that even finish, maybe country that finished third, probably based on their points to get a chance to play.
Like the best winners, the best winners are going to go through. Yes. The best winners.
Wow, I can't wait. I can't wait to have that. Okay, now let us talk about the United States against Paraguay. Ladi Folari scoring 2 goals. Right now, it's giving as if the American is putting himself ahead to be to clinch the golden boot. Although we can't say it's too soon, but scoring 2 goals, that was a record one for an American. They've never really achieved this feat in a very, very long time. I think Ladi becomes the first player for the United States to score 2 goals and an assist in the World Cup. Okay, so we are still talking about the World Cup, but let's just briefly talk about the transfer stories we have right now. The moment I saw Cucurella, I immediately remember that the guy is no longer a Chelsea player anymore. He has now moved to the Santiago Bernabeu. He will now be joining the big boys and the big manager himself, Jose Mourinho, in Madrid. Don't forget, Cucurella from Brighton made a big money move to Chelsea. That's talking about 4 seasons ago, and now he's now on the stage, moving to the biggest club, one of the biggest clubs in Europe, and that's talking about Real Madrid. For you, Sukomi, I don't know what Mourinho could have seen in Cucurella in getting Cucurella to join the team. For me, Cucurella joining Madrid, for me, I don't know. I'm trying to look at what can Cucurella really offer Madrid?
Well, I think during his 3 years spell at Chelsea, I think he didn't do badly. I think the guy didn't do badly, though he struggled at the initial stage of his career at Chelsea. But I think he picked up, he helped the team to win the Conference League, followed by the World Club Cup. So I think Cucurella is not that a bad defender. I think he's a decent defender. And now, coming under Jose Mourinho now, and we all know Mourinho, he knows how to get the best out of an average player. He has done that with quite in years to Barcelona. So I think Cucurella will have a fantastic career at Real Madrid.
Okay, thank you very much, Sukami. Dami, for you, Cucurella joining Madrid. I know you are a Chelsea sympathizer, kind of. I don't know what that means. Cucurella, I can even see him now. He's putting it. They almost dribbled him earlier. He came back player almost dribbled him.
I feel like that's transfer is like in 2 ways, and the reason I'm saying is that if you look at Cucurella is a kind of defender that fits into a particular system. He can play as a wing back, he can play as a winger. And if you know Jose Mourinho very well, Jose Mourinho likes to have players that can play several positions across the pitch, like somebody that's like an utility player. And foremost, as a defender, your job is primarily to defend, which Cucurella can do. So I think it's a very big addition. And do not forget, it was just this last season that they bought Alvaro Pereira from Benfica on a big money deal. And there's still Ferland Mendy, the French defender there. So I don't know how Real Madrid are going to do it. Perhaps they are going to sell one of these players. Not just both of them. There's still this guy, Garcia, that was taken from another La Liga club. So they have about 4 left back now, which means that there's only going to be one starting left back. And for Cucurella, who has worked out his frustrations towards Chelsea's business over the years, he was not happy that they allowed Enzo Maresca to go. There was no stability, and they finished 10th in the last season. So this and so much more. And then there's also the allure of going back to Spain, playing for one of the biggest clubs in your career. Even if you did not succeed, there's the name that you played for one of the biggest clubs. You have already played for Barca, you played for Getafe, you played for Brighton, for Chelsea, for Real Madrid. What else could be bigger than that? So I think much more than his move. That name, his profile has gone up top a bit. And also, Real Madrid now has a Spanish international in the squad. Because if you look at that Real Madrid squad, they have few Spanish players that are first team in the national team in the squad. So Cucurella joining is more like a win-win for them, business-wise, national team-wise, and also upgrade in their defense line.
Okay, thank you, Dami. Let me also put this to you right away. Ruben Amorim, the former Manchester United gaffer, he's on his way to the Italian Serie A. What can he do different right now? People have been saying that, this is the perfect place for him to be. He will be joining Milan, AC Milan. Milan has an history of a kind of tactical pattern. Ruben Amorim plays when he was at Sporting Lisbon. And the question has always been rising among fans at the moment that, what will Ruben Amorim do differently right now? Looking at his previous job at Manchester United, where he almost collapsed the team and sent them to the relegation water. And as a matter of fact, he lost the final of the Europa League. And now, looking at what is going to happen, I think I'm going to nationalize to Cape Verde. I love the way the fans are really, really exciting and rejoicing about what they are playing right now. Okay, let me just leave that at the moment. But let's talk about Ruben Amorim. Amorim to AC Milan. Should that be a surprise? Should that, for you, Is it something that you are not even expecting anything more from him?
Somebody said when I saw the report of Ruben Amorim going to AC Milan, somebody said, congratulations to Ruben Amorim. At least you will make more money. But I can't say congratulations to AC Milan because they might end up being relegated at the end of the season. It's actually funny, sir, because considering who Ruben is in Portugal before coming to Manchester United, I still feel like Ruben Amorim is very, 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 was because he has left now, was very unlucky during his stay with Manchester United. The team was in total shambles. The team were, there was no fight, there was no grit. And for a player that does not even know the culture of the club, and there is the 1992 set of pundits who are quick to tear down these players, and the team. But he's more in a neutral situation now with AC Milan. He has the squad, he can make the decisions, these things. And also AC Milan are making some restructuring in terms of the club officials. So I feel like it's a fresh start for me by Amorim, and let him show that truly what I did with Sporting CP, I can do it anywhere. He is going to have the opportunity to begin with them on the preseason. So it means that there is more time for him to implement his idea, which he did not get that luxury at Manchester United because he joined at mid-season. He joined in January, so there was nothing like having a preseason. But this one, starting with the team from scratch. So every players are coming back.
But let me interrupt there. Let me interrupt there. Don't forget that after the mid-season, Ruben Amorim had a chance of the new season where he was the one that signed Koa, signed in Bermo. He had a chance of getting players. He got players at the new season before he was sent back in for Carrick to take over. So, which I don't think there's any excuse for him.
I just feel like things were already bad at that time. Regardless of whatever they had in season, things were already bad because he started on a very poor foundation. So there was nothing like having to restructure again. And the 92 sets were not actually happening. Look at the way they criticize Michael Carrick now. Look at the way, especially King. Look at the way these guys change these players. So I feel like for a person
the 94 sets to criticize people in Nigeria. Okay, that means we need to take a commercial break right away. We'll be back after this time. Stay tuned. Don't forget this is your favorite frequency, the FM 91.7. We're back after this time.
Radio 91.7.
Nigeria, a nation of many languages and many tribes. We will stand together, live together, and grow together. United we stand, united we thrive. This message is brought to you by Women Radio WFM 91.7 FM.
HB 1349 ní nọ́mbà ìwé òfin ilé aṣòfin 1349. HB 1349 ó wà fún àwọn ipò tí a fi pamọ́ sílẹ̀ fún àwọn obìnrin ní ilé aṣòfin àgbà, ilé aṣòfin aṣojú àti àwọn ilé aṣòfin ìpínlẹ̀. Tí o bá fọwọ́ sí HB 1349, ìjọba wa yóò dára sí i. Ẹ jẹ́ kí a panupọ̀ kí a sọ fún àwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ ilé aṣòfin wa kí wọ́n dìbò fún HB 1349 fún Nàìjíríà tó dára. Tí o bá nífẹ̀ẹ́ Nàìjíríà, ṣe àtìlẹ́yìn fún HB 1349 kí o fi ìfilọ̀ yìí ránṣẹ́ sí ẹlòmíràn. Ìkéde yìí wá láti Women Radio 91.7.
Remember how mom would wake up early, make us breakfast, and you know our uniform.
We have to do something special for her.
Yes, so let's make this money fair.
Surprise your mom with a trip to Zanzibar this 2026 in the 3 Crowns Mom of the Year competition. Write a note using each letter of her name and submit with a picture of 5,000 Naira worth of 3 crowns on www.3crowns.com.ng or at our collection centers for your chance to win. T's and C's apply. 3 Crowns Milk. Healthy moms. Happy families.
otu ụmụ nwaanyị Igbo mgbasa ozi Women Radio Membership n'olu bekee na-ejikọ gị na ụmụ nwaanyị azụmahịa ndị ọzọ, ndị ọchụnta ego, ụmụ akwụkwọ, ndị nlekwa ezinụlọ, ndị ọrụ ugbo na ndị ezumike nka dị na steeti 36 nke Naịjirịa. Dịka onye otu ụmụ nwaanyị Igwe mgbasa ozi, azụmahịa gị bụ nke a ga-akwalitere gị n'efu n'igwe mgbasa ozi ụmụ nwaanyị. Ị ga-enwetakwazi ihe nrite ihe ọma ndị dị ịtụnanya dị iche iche ma nwetakwazi ohere ịnọ ma sonyere ihe omume anyị gasị. Tinye Women Radio app n'ekwentị gị taa iwe nụrụ ọnụ gị n'igwe mgbasa ozi debanye aha n'efu na wfm917.com ma gbaa mbọ hụ na ị na-esonyere otu chịkọtara ụmụ nwaanyị igwe mgbasa ozi ọ nwere nzikọrịta ozi Facebook ọ bụ otu maka AFA Foundation and Nigeria Media Innovation Program NAMIP na-ahịta ha na-akwado otu abụ Women Radio Membership.
You looking for a place to advertise your business at affordable rates or a hall to host all your corporate events and conferences? Then don't look any further for all your advert placements, live interviews, announcements, religious programs, event bookings, and lots more. Give your business the boost and reach your target audience at an affordable rate here on Women Radio 91.7. What are you waiting for? Hurry now. Call the numbers 0905 555 8998, 0806 009 2137, or 0816 060 5673, or email us at sales@wfm917.
Ayé ìgbádùn tó fẹ́ jẹ, ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú bó ṣe ń ná owó rẹ̀. Ètò tuntun tó ń bọ̀ lórí Women Radio 91.7 yóò kọ́ ọ bí a ṣe ń náwó, bí a ṣe ń tọ́jú owó, àti bí o ṣe lè ní owó tó pọ̀ jaburata. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, Amọ́nì yóò kọ́ ọ ní ètò ìṣúná bí o ṣe lè lo owó rẹ̀ lọ́nà tó tọ́ àti lọ́nà tó yẹ. Lórí Amọ́nì, kò sáyè ìsápamọ́ lórí kó o yáwó, kò sáyè ọ̀nkú bí o tí ì jẹun bẹ̀ yẹn. A ó kọ́ ọ bí o ṣe ń náwó, bí o ṣe ń tọ́jú owó, àti bí o ṣe lè dá wà láàyè ara rẹ̀. Pàdé wa lórí Women Radio 91.7 ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Tuesday láago 3:30 ọ̀sán. Women Radio 91.7 ohùn fún obìnrin. Amọ́nì, gbogbo obìnrin ní láti gbọ́.
Are you a business owner, freelancer, or salary earner in Lagos State? Taxes are not just bills to pay. Taxes are investments to develop your Lagos and your future. Women Radio, WFM 91.7, in partnership with Lagos Internal Revenue Service, LIRS, bring you Tax Radio every Wednesday at 5 p.m. and every Friday at 6:05 p.m. with tax experts on your tax rights and tax obligations in Lagos. Tax Radio with LIRS on Women Radio WFM 91.7, Wednesdays at 5 p.m. and Fridays at 6:05 p.m. Empower yourself with your tax rights and obligations in Lagos.
Women Radio 91.7, breaking the culture of silence.
Still fighting.
All right, welcome back. Let's look at the previous games that have been played in the World Cup, and I want us to look at the results and what we have seen in recent times in terms of comeback. We have witnessed the comeback between Japan and Netherlands. I want us to look at that game. Sukomi, I want you to give me your opinion of that game, because that game was heading, to a round where Netherlands were going to get their first win in 2026 FIFA World Cup, and then there was the magic that happened. They got the corner kick and they were able to make use of that corner kick. More like Arsenal making use of their corner kick that we have seen last season. Now, let's look at that as it's now being played. Netherlands and Korea, a game that ended 2-2, one of the best and biggest games that we have seen in the World Cup so far.
Okay, I think for me, the Netherlands game that yesterday, because I have a baby cousin who supports Japan. She loves the Japanese so well. And at first, when Netherlands scored, she was like, she had really read a lot about Japan, like, how they did well, and other things. And she was feeling bad. And in the middle of consoling her, I just thought, I said, don't worry, Japan is going to score. And what I saw was that those guys really know how to use the ball. The goals were not.
And I feel, Jema, I feel like those guys, like, the way we go to school to learn subjects, like these guys learn football apart from playing football. Like they read about football.
Yes.
Like like they read football. Do you know there is this guy at Brighton, Cairo Mitoma.
Mitoma.
He spoke about
Mitoma,
yes.
Mitoma.
You know, this guy studied football, sports, especially before actually becoming a winger. And that is actually what makes them exceptional. It's like they have a technical school for the whole football team before coming onto the pitch. And did you see what their coach did? It took like a board of 45 minutes, displaying it to the players that this is what you have. You have within this time frame for you to get the result. And it worked, actually. It worked. So, I mean, what is your take on that game?
Okay, someone has joined the show.
Samuel,
it's good to have you back on the show after your short sabbatical after winning the league. Samuel, good evening, welcome.
Sam decided to go because Arsenal won the league. He just decided to, celebrate his London and left us. But it's good. It's good. Sam, how are you doing today?
Good evening, Jeremiah. Good evening, Dami. How are you? Yeah, it's nice to be back. First of all, just briefly, I'm very excited that Arsenal won the league. I celebrated for at least 5 days straight. I celebrated for 5 days, and then it's now the celebrations have done for Arsenal. We are now into the World Cup. So yeah, it's great to be back.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go to the next game that we saw. One of the biggest results: Germany against Morocco, who are making their debut 7-1, and also there was USA against Paraguay 4-1, and also there was the surprise result, which I actually did not expect is going to go that way. Australia beating Turkey, their first World Cup with Akan Kanogu as captain. That squad that Turkey has every quality. Yildiz, Kenan Yildiz, Adagula, Karim Atogolu, Akan Kanogu, one of the best midfielders that is currently playing for Inter, who won the league. Surprisingly, they lost to Australia. I never believed that game until I saw the results.
Yeah, that game, first of all, that Australia-Turkey game, I'm going to watch the highlights. I haven't watched the highlights yet. So but seeing that result, I was very surprised, especially from a Turkey's perspective, because I thought initially when I saw this, I thought maybe Turkey will beat Australia, maybe by 1 goal at least. Because I saw Australia as Australia. I don't know what their view is when it comes to the World Cup. I don't know what their expectations are. But seeing that they have, done this result for them against Turkey, it's as if, they are now saying, oh, you know what? I don't know what our expectations are as a nation, but we can at least cause 1 or 2 upsets amongst the group, against our opponents. And this is definitely the opportunity to do that. And they have done so rightly against Australia. So it's very interesting to see what their view is for the World Cup, and especially similar nations like that. So that's a very good thing.
All right, it's just 80 minutes into the game between Spain and Cape Verde, and it's still goalless. Lamine Yamal has been brought in. You remember Lamine Yamal had an hamstring injury during the regular season with Barca, and now he has been introduced by Luis Lafonte as they are looking for a winner. And if this game ends draw, it means that Cape Verde are on the way to cause an upset. So, from what do you think of the tie so far? 81 minutes goalless. Sukomi, are you there? All right.
Yes, I'm still with you. I think the game right now with Lamine Yamal inside that game, for me, if Spain plays a draw, for me, I would take that as a defeat. Because if you look at the quality of player, the caliber of players Spain is parading in this game, they are world-class players compared to Cape Verde, who at the moment right now, if you look at their team, they are not really an exceptional team. You can even bank on. Look at the Rodri, look at the like of that. But now look at how they've been able to run day to day.
with Spain right now at the moment. I'm looking at the game right now, and the only thing that could really save Spain at the moment is if Lamine Yamal can come into the picture and make difference. And don't forget, Danny, Yamal. I remember that I told you, I said, with the injury Lamine Yamal is suffering at the moment, I don't think he is going to be at his best at the World Cup. And that's going to be a concern this evening, even as the coach of the club. I don't even think. And another concern I have again is the fact that how the coach decides to start Unai Simon ahead of that. I don't know what it means. David Raya has gotten a very
wait. I need to wait. Let's go. Unai Simon is the best choice goalkeeper for Spain. So because David Raya had a season where he won the EPL, you should displace Unai Simon. Because I don't get that logic.
I think for me it's questionable.
Let's
think
move
it's questionable. I thought David Raya should have.
It is not question. If you ask any football fan, there's nothing questionable about Unai Simon.
I will save my conspiracy.
Let me give you this. Garcia was the goalkeeper of the season in La Liga, but yet he still doesn't start. So it's like you don't know what they call stability in the team. Jeremiah and the MPFL. Kano Pillars released 6 players today. Oboke, Benjamin, and one other guy. And 5 other guys were released. And also, Sporting Lagos announced the partnership with Kuda as the sport sponsor for the whole season. These MPFL clubs are already making plans for next season. We saw the end of BFL that ended yesterday. Edo Queens were crowned champions for a second time after the win against the reigning champions Bayelsa. Now Edo Queens they are back and they are going to represent Nigeria on the continent. Let's go to the MPFL. This decision by Kano Pillars, who were luckily delivered from relegation. Do you think this is more like a rebuilding or a restructuring? Because we have always seen MPFL teams every season they sign about 15 to 30 players, more like a spread the ramp. Do you think this is the right step in the right direction for Kano Pillars, who now escape relegation?
For me, it's just the same old method, always having the old method and at the same time not getting the right results. That for me is majorly the concern I have with these big clubs, these Nigerian clubs. We are still recycling the same old and let's say refurbished legs that they cannot even give us the right result. That's my concern majorly. Because I don't think a team that wants to prosper. Can you hear me, Danny? I don't think a team that wants to prosper. You'll be bringing several players. Another player that was sacked from another club, you are bringing him to join your club. If the player was exceptional, would he have actually been sacked? That is another question. That's another issue I have in the MPFL. In the MPFL, we don't do a lot of rebuilding. We don't have long-term plans. We don't have long-term plans in a way of systematically building our team. We don't have that. We don't have that. You see, a team after a team survived because we are chasing something. We are selling top 30 players. How are you going to? Good for season. So a team that wants to stay longer in the MPFL, we must be able to get that structure right. Building that team for 2-3 seasons consistently. That is what's complete the team. But if you're doing all those shortless services, you sign a player this season, next season, you sign them up, you sign another one this season. I think that is not the right thing.
Okay. Ilechukwu signed a 1-year extension with Rangers during the course of the week, which means that he's going to continue with the champions for another season. They're going to play in the CAF Champions League, and this is a very big step for them, a very big one. Ilechukwu, and hopefully right now, because Nigeria is not participating in the World Cup, there's every chance that he's going to be with the team because during the international break, Ilechukwu was traveling with Super Eagles alongside Daniel Gumodede. Now, he has signed a 1-year session. There is the CAF Champions League in place. They need to make reinforcements. They need to boost the squad for them to be able to compete, because we saw what happened with the last winner. That was their Masters, who are relegated right now. We saw how abysmal their campaign was in the CAF Champions League. Now, Rangers will be looking to avoid that. Jeremiah, are you there? Jeremiah. All right, let's move away from that. Let's wait for Jeremiah because let's go to the games that we have for today. Samuel, Belgium is going to play Egypt later today. One of the final dance for Mohamed Salah, who's going to play his last World Cup for Egypt. And then there's Belgium, who has the likes of Thibaut Courtois, Romelu Lukaku. There's this guy. There's De Bruyne also. There's De Bruyne. Can you hear me?
I don't hear you. We are speaking about
okay.
Daniel Gumodede earlier. I'm just trying to.
Okay. Let's go back. Let's go back to that. I mean, Ilechukwu has signed a 1-year extension, and it means that Rangers will play in the CAF Champions League right now. We saw what happened with the last winner, Remo Stars, how bad their campaign was in the CAF Champions League. I saw both games. I did not see the one in South Africa, but I saw the one that they came to play in Nigeria. Now Rangers are in that street now. They have to play the CAF Champions League. They need stability more than ever. Not Ilechukwu leaving to the national team. This is the time they need the stability. They need to make that signing that can compete with these biggest guys in the continent. He has signed a 1-year deal. What is the next step for Rangers and Ilechukwu?
Yes. For me, yes. I think for me it's a good one. Keeping Fidelis Ilechukwu in the team. You know, he needs to finish what he has started. And if you look at the way Rangers is structured right now, and even if you look at the NPFL right now, I don't think we really have coaches that are really strong to that caliber to do anything magic. So even if you say you want to get another coach right now after your team has gotten promoted or they want to play on the continent, you just want to set yourself up for a doom, at least technically. So for me, I think it's a good one, and I love the fact that the management were able, because at one point the management were thinking of getting another coach. They believe they do not trust Ilechukwu at one point, maybe because of the busy schedule he has with the national team. But I think it's very good that the management were able to take initiative to just trust him one more time to get the job going. So I think it's a very good.
Jeremiah, let's go to the games that we have after today. Can you hear me? Are you there? Can you hear me? Are you...
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Sam, let's go to the games that we have for now in the World Cup. After the game between Spain and Cape Verde. The game between Spain and Cape Verde is currently in the 90th minute and it's still goalless. Now let's go with what we have next. We have Belgium against Egypt. Egypt is going to play with Mohamed Salah as his last dance, as the talisman and as the captain of the team. What is the chances for Belgium? Belgium finished fourth in the 2018 edition, their golden generation, which consisted of Hazard, who moved to Real Madrid at that time. Now Belgium with Romelu Lukaku, with Thibaut Courtois as goalkeeper, with KDB now. What are their chances in the World Cup playing against an African side in Egypt?
I think for Belgium, first of all, looking at their group, they have a very good chance of getting out of the group. So if they get out of the group with the squad of players that they have, that alone will be a great achievement for them. I mean, I expect them to anyway. But in terms of how far they can go, like you said, I think they finished fourth in the, was it fourth or fifth in the last edition or 2018?
No, fourth.
Yeah, fourth in 2018. So I think from then and now, I'm not sure where the expectation will lie, because Belgium were the kind of team that they were hyped a lot, saying that they had a lot of golden generational players, you know, Telemans, De Bruyne, Courtois, Lukaku, Hazard at the time. But I think now a lot can happen in 5, 6 years. You know, some of the players there, then they are not there now. Hazard is not there now. So I think it's down to, you know, where they want to get to in this World Cup. And the thing about this World Cup being 48 teams, it gives teams a lot of opportunities to progress.
Exactly.
If you understand what I mean, it gives you a lot of teams to progress. So Egypt and Belgium as well, they will be fancying their chances because, you know, there's a lot of teams competing as well. So it'll be very interesting to see how this game plans out.
All right, let's go to the game between Saudi Arabia and Uruguay. If you remember, Saudi Arabia did one of the biggest infamous victory against Argentina back in 2022, and Argentina ended up becoming winners. Now Argentina have to prove themselves against another South American opponent. The last time in 2022 against South Africa opponents, they defeated Argentina. And now another South American opponent, Uruguay against Saudi Arabia.
I think with that game, let's start with, I think with Uruguay, one of their key players is Federico Valverde, you know, who plays for Real Madrid in Spain. He will be a key player for that Uruguay team because almost everything will go through him. The way they play, the way they attack, the way they defend. So he will be the key player to lead them, you know, onto the pitch and to see how far, you know, they can go in the competition. As for Saudi Arabia, I think teams like Saudi Arabia and dark horse teams in general, people should be very careful not to write them off and say, oh, they are not going to progress or they are not going to get far, because it's those kind of teams that can really cause problems for the heavyweights in this World Cup. So it will be very interesting to see how far they go.
Okay, let's look at the last one that is going to come up. That is going to come up. That was going to be tomorrow, but I want us to quickly look at this. Iran and also New Zealand. Do you not forget that Iran were not allowed entry into the United States? They're allowed to only take their account in Mexico. They are going to play against a New Zealand side that has the superstar Chris Wood of Nottingham Forest leading the lines. And also there is the biggest one, France against Senegal. France, more like Senegal playing against the colonizer. You guess. Let's look at that game, Sam.
So first of all, let's talk about Iran and New Zealand. The biggest factor there about Iran, as you've said, their training base is in Mexico and they can only enter the United States on match day. This is because as you know, USA and Iran are at war regarding politics. And USA have said, no, we will not allow you to stay in our country. You can only come here for match day and you have to go back to your base inside 24 hours as soon as the game is finished. Now that is big, because travel tiredness is going to have a real impact on them, because imagine traveling from the USA to Mexico at least three times there and back when you're playing games. That's going to be a lot. It's going to take a real impact on the players, especially when the hot weather in these countries can either help you or it can really impact you. So it's going to be a lot. It's going to be very impactful for Iran.
All right. I think for the game between France and Senegal, what's your say on that?
It's a very tricky group, you know. Senegal, France, Norway, and one other team, Iraq. So it's a very tricky group. No one should say, you know, this team is going to beat this team. And I think Senegal will really take it to France. They are no They are not a sleepover
Pushovers.
team.
They are not pushovers.
They are
Yes,
not a
yes,
pushover.
yes.
So yeah.
All right. So the game between Spain and Cape Verde has ended goalless. Cape Verde on their debut, they were able to pick a point off 2010 world
That's
champions.
amazing.
Incredible
That's amazing.
performances. It's a very big one for them. It's a big one because if you're able to take a point off Spain going into your next game, I think that's a very big moral booster for them. Let's wrap it up. It's been a wonderful time with us, with everyone, with the gang, with Sukomi, with
Dami,
Sam joining us
I
today.
also, thank you so much. Dami, I also wanted to add that
I can't hear you, Jeremiah. I can't hear you.
I can't hear you.
Sorry, Jeremiah.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Okay, just do quickly. We have about 3 minutes to round up. Go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead. Go ahead, Jeremiah. We can hear you. I think we are going to do it as a wrap now. Thank you so much, Jeremiah. Thank you so much, Sam, for joining. And also for Sukomi, who joined us to talk about the World Cup. Thank you so much. It's been an amazing time. And I'm hoping that we are going to be catching you on the next one. And by that time, we will have entered into the majority of the group stage games in the FIFA World Cup. Thank you so much for sticking by. Thank you for listening. Thank you for giving your opinion. It's been a wonderful time. Bye-bye, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Wait,